Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're at Ken's Cars where we're going to have a look at the Haval H9. Keyless entry is obtained through the remote control. As you can see, it's rather attractive. It has lock, open the boot, unlock, and an alarm at the top. With the keyless entry, the handle is gripped and then pulled, which automatically unlocks to show a really nice spacious entry. The car is easily locked by pressing the little rubber button on the handle, which allows the mirrors to fold in, indicating lock. And I think we'll start the engine because it's rather hot. The display shows on the left the rev counter, speed in the middle, and water temperature and fuel on the right. Now when you click the button on the steering wheel here, you can cycle through various options on the dash. It has the tyre pressures, driving range, the instant fuel consumption, and as we're standing still there's no reading there. The average speed that we've been doing, average fuel consumption, journey time, trip meter, and back to speed in the centre. Also on the steering wheel is the phone answering and controls for the sound system. Over on the right is the headlight control. On the driver's door there's lock and unlock and the controls for the rear view mirrors. The fuel filler opening control is on the driver's door also. The opening for the bonnet is also down in the footwell on the driver's side. Above the main display is an interesting series of readings. First of all is the altitude, the barometric pressure, the direction of travel, and the degree of inclination of the car. When menu is pressed, the display shows a number of settings. First of all, there's vehicle settings, which we can press. There's light settings, comfort settings, driver's seat settings, for example. And there's seat heating, seat ventilation, seat massage, which can be put on at level 1, 2 or off. In addition, there's if we go back further, there's passenger seat settings, and the passenger is lucky enough to have all the same settings as well. If we press vehicle status, we get information of the torque, coolant temperature, transmission temperature, battery voltage, wheel angle and elevation. We can go back, the air conditioning setting, and front and rear is independent. There is independence also for all 3 rows of seats. We'll press tone, and that's the sound system controls. The display, day, night, brightness, auto and highest, and time. So we're GMT plus 10. The controls for the air conditioning are outlined here as well as the controls for the driver's seat, which when pressed appears straight up on the screen above and can allow adjustments easily and quickly. Below the air conditioning controls are a number of other useful features. First of all, there is the blind spot detection, which can be switched on by pressing this button. Next is the automatic stop, which currently is in default, which is on, and needs to be pressed if it's desired that you turn it off. The next button is the lane departure warning system. which notifies you when you're leaving a lane on a freeway, for example. The next one along is traction control. Obviously, default is that it's switched on, but if for any reason it is desired that it be off, press the button. Finally, there's Park Assist, which when pressed automatically gives the screen view around the car. Now to the right here on the screen is the control for parallel parking assist and for reversing into a car park assist. So when they're pressed, it will automatically park itself for you. Quite a neat trick for those who are frightened of parking in such places as supermarkets or in small roads where the gap between the cars is not quite what the driver might see as sufficient. But nevertheless, let me reassure you that this does work. Motion is selected here with reverse, neutral and manual and drive, and yes, this vehicle does have paddle shift, which can be seen attached to the steering wheel and moves with the wheel, making it easy to control without having to shift hands. The markings on the mode selector include auto, sport, snow, mud, sand, and the 4L, which is off-road. They're simply selected by turning the dial to whichever mode is required. Moving further down, there's Eco Control, which when pressed gives the display on the screen. Further down, the traction control. There are 2 cup holders, and in this compartment there's a USB and charging points, and in here is a cigarette lighter and a spot to keep all your money for parking, etc., unless you're a smoker, in which case you'll use it as an ashtray. There are also rain sensing automatic windscreen wipers. Your sun visors have a neat little thing for your parking tickets and a mirror with a light on both sides. Now above us we have the control for the blind for the sunroof. Turning the control opens the sunroof. And of course, when you've got nowhere to put your sunglasses, there's quite a spacious compartment for storage and a large glove box. The seats are fully adjustable and have 3 memory set positions. If you're a little taller, you can actually extend the seat by means of this little lever down here, which you lift and pull the seat forwards, adding a little extra length for your legs. Now in the middle row of seats, air conditioning is variable, and there's also a USB charger underneath and a little storage facility there, and again an electrical charging plug a la a cigarette lighter as well. There's storage behind the seats here, and the seats are fully adjustable with a lever just so. Lean forward to access the back. They provide a huge area of storage at the boot. Opening the rear door is similar to the side doors, where it's necessary to grasp the handle for a moment just to release the auto locking. Over on the side here we have an access plug, we have air conditioning, adjustable seats, and my favourite thing here is that the seats can be brought up like so. Pressing that button allows the 3rd row of seats to be put in position. To fold it away, simply press and it folds away. Can certainly save a lot of struggling, particularly when young families are involved. And from that point of view, there are mounts for child safety devices across the back, here and here, and also at the far back as well. Underneath here, we turn the little locking nuts and lift. There's a jack and a small storage compartment. On the back door, we just undo these two latches to reveal a few tools that may be useful at some stage, including a wheel brace and a pair of pliers and a small screwdriver. On this side, I think that is left for storage of more small items. The Haval also has a full-size spare wheel which is mounted below the rear door. Let's release the bonnet and have a look at the engine. Now this is a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo engine which provides 180 kilowatts of power or 240 horsepower and 350 newton meters of torque. The engine is connected to an 8-speed ZF gearbox similar to those in Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Bentley, BMW and Maserati, just to name a few. The xenon headlights have automatic cleaning and the adaptive front lighting system, which means that as the steering wheel is turned, the lights turn to illuminate the road around the corner. And now we'll have a little bit of a drive. Driving this car down a freeway is very comfortable, it's easy to drive, the steering's quite light, acceleration is good, and it has paddles to play with. So if we put this into paddles, you can hear that we'll just change lanes here. And This of course has a ZF gearbox, which is the same as occurs in Alfa Romeos, Aston Martins, BMWs, Bentleys and Maseratis. So it's not surprising that it performs quite well. It's just starting to rain, and of course with the automatic wipers they immediately switch on. We just have to watch our speed along this area. Just like the European counterparts, when you're driving this car using the paddles and you come to a stop and you're not in first gear, it'll automatically change down to first gear before you start. And at night, when the car is unlocked, this neat little sign appears. And when we open the door, so that's the Haval H9. $47,000, 7 years warranty, ideal for families or an adventurer who would like a little bit of comfort. Now don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below and click on the little bell that gives you notifications of further videos in the future. We'll be doing a few escapades as well as a few cars. I hope you enjoyed this one. Cheerio.